What's up, y'all? So today I'm here with
Dr. Adeline Kikam, aka Brown Skin Derm, a board certified dermatologist.
and as you know, I'm Oakley, transformed by O. I'm a natural hair stylist and content creator. So we are going to be talking about trending hair topics through 2022.
Exactly. I'm super excited. People always ask me for hair content, and I don't do as much. That's one thing I'm trying to change in 2023. But I'm super happy we're discussing hair topics today.
All right, so number one for our trending topics, relaxers.
So this one was quite a big topic in the beauty industry. A study came out showing that there's a possible link between relaxers and the rise in incidence of like fibroids and ovarian cancer and all whatnot. So got a lot of people, on the edge of their seat because with the natural hair movement, of course, we've seen a drop in the use of relaxers, but earlier on in the year, I started seeing articles really, kind of pushing the return of relaxer, like undoing natural. So with this study coming out later on in the year, it's been kind of interesting to see that how the conversation has evolved. Like, what do you think about the topic?
Well, I think it's funny how all these girls did not have a relaxer and they all had silk presses. Like, we all aspire to look like them, but they didn't even.
Yeah, I saw that, and that to me was really triggering because what we're talking about here for context is that a lot of the models, the girls that used to be on the boxes for these relaxers, what we call them the box models, actually revealed that they had never used the products that they were marketing. Those were like silk presses. And a lot of us, I know growing up, I would look at those girls on the boxes and like, hey, just thinking if I use this product, I would get, nice, silky, smooth looking hair like them. And just to realize that a lot of them were not actually using the product, that was like...
It was disheartening.
It was very disheartening. I felt like I was taken advantage of. And a lot of you also felt that way just following the conversation on Twitter.
So with that being said, my professional opinion is that I am not 100% against relaxer, maybe like 98%. But I think everybody should have choice to choose. I think everybody should have what's the word?
The information. I think you should be empowered with the information to make an informed decision on whether to relax or not to relax your hair. But be aware that we're having these studies that are evolving and showing connections to things. And we've seen that when people use at-home relaxers, they tend to leave these chemicals a lot longer on their scalps. They tend to cause burns, systemic absorption of possible toxic ingredients in their relaxer products. So if you're thinking of switching, if you're natural and you're thinking of going back to box relaxers, I'll just be very careful in how often you use it.
I would just not use box relaxer. Leave relaxers or any chemical services to the professionals. I would say, period. Don't do any chemical services at home.
My personal, this can be a personal preference. I stopped relaxing over 12 years ago. I stopped using relaxers, and I'm not here to tell you how to groom your hair, but just be aware of, how the science is evolving. And as a dermatologist, I would say if you really feel like you have to do it to maintain a certain lifestyle or convenience, make sure that you're not overdoing it. And like Oakley said, rely on your professional to do it.
Next up is alopecia. So alopecia means hair loss. But one of the things that the internet didn't understand is that there's different types of alopecia. So let's just bring up Jada, for instance. What type of alopecia did she have?
I think, I don't know, did she ever reveal it? Because I think I don't know. I didn't follow up on what specific type of alopecia. There are a lot of rumors about it being alopecia areata, which is an autoimmune form of alopecia. I do not know. I'm not her doctor, so I can't presume to know what her medical diagnosis. But for me, as a physician, what I liked is the conversation Although it kind of evolved from, you know, a not so nice event, we know, like the slap with Will Smith and or whatnot, and that blew up the internet. But again, it brought awareness to this topic of hair loss on a national level, and I'm happy that a lot of the talk shows took it upon themselves to really explore what it means, what the psychological impact for women, especially women of color, is when it comes to hair loss.
So what do you think what is the main hair loss that Black women experience?
So one of the biggest forms of hair loss that Black women experience is CCCA, Central Centrifugal Cicatricial Alopecia. It's a scarring form of alopecia. And what does a scarring form of alopecia mean? It means it's a hair loss in which you lose your hair follicles. I always explain to my patients like this. There are two types, major categories of hair loss. There is non-scarring and scarring. Think of your scarring alopecia as trying to grow hair from a cemented surface. It's just hard, right? Mm-hmm. And your non-scarring alopecia, think about it like a farm bed that doesn't have the nutrients it needs to actually grow the plant, or is being attacked by, you know, mites or whatever, or some insects, so the plant is not able to grow, although there's soil around, so it needs to be refertilized, and you know, we need to add all this sort of things to the soil to make it an environment that is viable for growth. So in scarring alopecia, you're losing those hair follicles, they're getting effaced, so time is very important. We want prompt diagnosis, we want prompt intervention to make sure that we're not, you know, ending up with totally bald hair in this condition. But CCCA is a very, very prevalent form of hair loss, as well as traction alopecia that comes from like your tight hairstyles, like braids, dreadlocks, and anything that really puts a lot of tension and stress. And I go to Okwe because I just love her hands. She knows how to work on my hair without all the pulling and tugging, and that's really important to me.
Ultimately, that's why I think it's important to consult with a dermatologist or go to a hairstylist that's either knowledgeable about hair loss or has partners with a dermatologist that can help you really recognize what's really going on. Because ultimately, I actually went to get certified as a trichologist. That's a whole other topic, but I love like figuring out because what was going on with my scalp was such a mystery and I couldn't figure it out. So I said, let me learn deeper. And now when I see my clients, I can see certain things that are going on, but ultimately I'm not a doctor and I can't diagnose. So I think it's better when things are not looking easy to resolve. I think it's always best to just take it to your dermatologist, because there are so many things that can hinder your hair loss that are not just going to be solved by, you know, using scalp oil.
Yes, exactly. Come and seek professional help, because when it comes to scarring alopecia or scarring form of hair loss, time is of the essence. A lot of times people come to see us and they've already lost those hair follicles, and there's really nothing we can do except advise them to do camouflage hairstyles. And talking about camouflage hairstyles, that's a whole nother trend.
Well, that leads us into our next topic, camouflage hairstyles.
So these videos are all over TikTok where people are showing your styling skills in like masking the hair loss. Mm-hmm. And don't get me wrong, I think camouflage styling has a place when it comes to really, you know, helping with the physical and mental health of our hair loss patients. I approve of still, you know, masking or hiding that hair loss while you're going through treatment, or however you want to wear it to feel good. However, some of these trending videos are getting a lot of views because some people are doing a little bit too much, and you know, and actually doing styles that are putting more tension on the hair loss that is already ongoing and worsening the situation. So that's just, you know, what do you think?
Yeah, I think people are not considering that. Well, on one hand, ultimately it depends on what the client themselves, what they care about, because maybe maybe they don't want to seek any more professional advice on growing their hair out because maybe it is scarring and there's actually no way that it can continue to grow. So for them, they're like, I'd rather take the style route and wear my hair the way I want to wear it. Because I mean, some of these women, they know how to style these camouflage hairstyles to the T. I mean, it looks
it's like
great.
an art.
It's an
like
art. It looks excellent. However, if you are on the journey of trying to recoup some of the hair, or if there's a possibility to regenerate some hair, then those are usually not the best options. I would probably say wigs are the best option because...
Yeah, wigs are some of the best options. Like anything that you can do to reduce that tension.
And access the scalp.
Yes, and access the scalp because you still want to place treatments. But like Okri said, some people are just like at that end stage of their hair loss where like there's nothing we can do. And camouflage is fine. But in situations where there is intervention is still possible, as much as possible, just make sure that you are not in the process of doing the camouflage hairstyle worsening the situation. So, yeah.
I agree.
That's just my take. The next trending topic is Tapins. I have no idea about this topic, so let me know what's happening here.
So Tapins are a form of extension where the tape, literally there's tape, your hair is in the middle, so your hair is sandwiched between two pieces of hair that has tapes at the root.
Okay.
If that makes any sense. And it's like one of the most, aside from microlinks, it's like one of the most versatile types of hair extensions. Honestly, I'm mesmerized by what I see on Instagram.
But is it light? Is it heavy on the hair?
So that I can't really comment on because, okay, so I did a little experiment and I filmed it. I don't know if I'm going to post it yet, but I definitely took it out that same day because for me, my scalp is kind of sensitive. I don't like sleeping with anything on my head or scalp. So any sensation feels heavy to me. So when I put it in, I'm like, this is not going to last me a month. I can't see myself wearing this for a month. And then on top of that, I guess I feel like I'm neutral about tape-ins because I do have some clients that are very interested in tape-ins. And the only people who I would recommend get tape-ins are the ones who regularly straighten their hair. Like they are quote unquote heat trained. So naturally their hair is easy to not only straighten, but also to remain straight, right? And they just want a little bit of extra volume or length. This is not for the person who, number one, never wears her hair out. Because, I mean, one of the things about Instagram or social media is you'll see something like, oh, I gotta have it. And it's like, listen, your hair cannot do that. Like, I know my hair, once I put that taping in, I said, this is not gonna work. This is not gonna work. I think my hair is, I love leave out. I think I've made a video about this. I like my natural edges. I love a lace front because it lets you really experiment with colors and like textures. But there's nothing like having your real leave out and your edges out for me personally. So when I put it in, I was like, man, I can see how amazing this could look. But the long-term results is I'm gonna have to keep on straightening my hair. And I don't want to have to do that because
that's too much heat.
It's too much heat. Like I'm an advocate for heat, actually. I think heat,
really?
Yes, I think heat can be very integral in your hair care routine, depending on how you wear your hair care, because there's no one size fits all when it comes to natural hair. Like we are not all the same. We don't have the same hairstyles, lifestyles. So for me, sometimes I like to straighten my hair, but realistically, I don't want to lose my curl to where it's looking stringy on the ends because I want to wear tape-ins. I actually had a client, she got tape-ins, and she showed me, and it looked bad. It looked bad as in good. Like, it was amazing. But she was like, look, Oakley, this kind of messed up my curl pattern a little bit. So for me, if you're willing to lose your curl pattern, or if you're like into the style, you love the versatility, you love feeling your scalp, or honestly, if you have like a keratin treatment or relaxer, tape-ins and maybe the microlinks, those are better styles for you if you really don't like the sew-ins or the wigs, which to me, those are the more protective options because you have less hair out and you have less to deal with.
Yeah, I am a curly girl fan, so I mean, y'all can have the tape-ins. Okay, talking about that, you brought it up, you mentioned the wash and go. I love the wash and go. I like that a lot of people are like taking control and doing their own thing and feeling more comfortable with the wash and go. From a lifestyle perspective, it's still not the most suitable thing for me to do. Like I'm like always on the road, fast paced, whatever. Like I don't have time to like dry my hair out in the morning. It's like 6 a.m. I'm already out on the road. But I love a good wash and go for the weekend, just letting everything out. And yeah, I love it.
So yeah, I think wash and goes were a good move for us in 2022. I've been seeing it so much more this year. And I think it's just Black women becoming more educated on what their hair can do and simplifying their routine, because you don't have to do a twist out or braid outs. I am a person who loves to have my hair. If I'm going to wear my hair out, I like it to be blow dried because I like the volume that it gives me. I do like the wash and go, and the thing is about shrinkage, I don't mind shrinkage, but sometimes I want a little length. So
yeah,
for
me too. I love big hair, and my shrinkage is out of this world. Like, my shrinkage is no joke.
So I think wash and goes, I'm sure you've heard of the no oils, no butter challenge or the 30-day detox. And the goal ultimately is to help women understand that you don't require these products for your hair care. And you may not be low porosity, you may just have a lot of buildup. And ultimately, hair is best moisturized by water or by liquid-based products. So I think that's how we kind of transitioned from, I guess, always feeling like you need to do a twist out or braid out to, okay, maybe my curls can just be defined with just gel and a mousse. And also I can embrace my hair in different shapes, in different colors, and I don't have to worry about, oh my gosh, if I color my hair blonde, it's gonna get damaged. Well, if you're regularly hydrating your hair, like, damage comes from extensive dryness. Extensive dryness comes from maybe possibly using oil too much, because I'm not against oil completely at all. I just think it's the way it's used that sometimes it wasn't the best for us. Especially, we were all learning how to do our hair.
Especially like occlusives that just like coat the cuticle and prevent your hair from really absorbing the moisture and the hydration that you need. So it's a delicate balance. And we've also seen that some of these oils and pomades that people apply on the scalp can actually lead to inflammation and worsen conditions like CCCA. So it's re-educating people not to feel like they need all these heavy products and ingredients in your skincare.
Yeah.
Another thing is some of these oils are comedogenic. So we have what we call pomade acne. When people overuse the butters and all these oils, they start getting acne around the hairline. And then for those who have sebderm, even makes it worse, or even psoriasis. So.
Oh, I didn't know that. Good to know. The edge debate is the last trending topic. And what I mean by that is, the baby hairs. I mean, baby hair is an art. It's some people love baby hairs. Some people despise them. To me, everybody should just mind their business. Let me enjoy my baby hair.
It's a personal choice. There's some days that I like to have my baby hairs or whatever out. Then there are other days that I don't. My thing is how you go about it.
Yes.
I've seen people use some pretty abrasive brushes on your edges that can just make things worse, like, hair loss, increasing friction in that area, using heavy gels, and then, also applying the lace front wig to the edges, all these things that can, over time, pull on the fragile edges. And then now we have the curling of the baby hair, adding the heat component to this, fragile hair. So, I mean, have you seen those videos of the curling?
Listen, I've seen them. So the thing is, it's a good practice when you're doing it to a lace front, because it does help make the baby hair curve in a certain direction more easily. But when you're doing it to your real hair, it's like, guys, baby hair is one of those things, when you wash your face, it doesn't last. So are you going to use a curling iron every single time you want to do baby hair?
Exactly.
Like, it's a bad practice that
I didn't even know people were doing that. Like, they were using
I've seen it. I'm in the hair world. I've seen it. And I'm like, y'all need to stop. It's not healthy for your edges at all.
Yeah, I think that's a lot of heat on fragile hair.
Yeah.
The hair on your edges is really, really fragile. If you think about everything that we do to it, put in the gel to kind of stretch it and lay it down, that's like the pulling on the hair. And now the flat iron on that, it's too much. And sometimes the flat iron comes really, really, really close to the skin, and we get burns. I've seen it in clinic, thermal burns from applying the products, or even I've seen some people with natural hair relaxing the edges to kind of have it lay. Yeah, definitely seen that, to kind of have
People
it
still do
lay.
that?
Yeah,
People used to do that back in the
really,
day.
it's
Yeah.
still a thing.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it's definitely it's a thing. I mean, I guess from the perspective of if you don't want to keep flat ironing that hair, the relaxer can give you like a longer period of, you know, so some people just rather do that and then not have to press the edges ever so often. But hey, from relaxer to heat-based devices, just be careful, because too much of all this is never a good thing for the hair.
Right. That's it for 2022 trending topics. Please leave a comment and let us know. Did you participate in any of these? Did you?
We're not gonna judge you.
We're not gonna
We just
judge
want to
you.
know your reason. Just tell us in the comment section what you'll be doing in 2023 as far as hair wise, or what you're definitely not rolling with for the new year.
Yes, ma'am. And until next time, please like, share, and subscribe, and we will see you next time.
Bye.